And what we're talking about with, say, Virgin Galactic, and what's mostly in the news right now, insofar as being imminent, is this suborbital.
Correct.
And another thing that I saw along those lines is that, when we talk about, for example, Richard's first foray up into the suborbital world or what have you, they're only going to stay up there for a couple minutes. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about that. Why is the trip so short, one, but then two, what do you experience for those few minutes? Why is it worth, I would get it if you're going to go up there for a couple of days or something, but just going up there even for a few minutes, what are you seeing and experiencing that makes it so extraordinary?
Sure. So it turns out it's gonna sound funny, but it turns out it's really hard to go to space. It's rocket science.
It's rocket science. There you go.
And everything you need to survive must come with you.
Yep.
So when you look at, from a business perspective, trying to build a viable business that takes people to have a space encounter or space experience, if you can keep it short but impactful, if you can find that balance, and this happens actually on a global travel scale, as destinations need to find the right balance of what people want to experience and are willing to pay for.
Right.
That's sort of what you're doing here. But also, how many supplies and resources will you need to keep them alive? Because they need to have everything they need. Unlike here, if you get stranded somewhere, you can maybe flag someone down or go into the nearest coffee shop, depending on where you're traveling in the world. Antarctica may be the exception to that, where there are not resources available unless you bring them.
Right.
But unlike Antarctica, every pound you take to space costs you fuel. And fuel and the weight and the mass and all that's where this is rocket science. It gets very expensive very quickly, or impossible. If the math doesn't work to bring that much mass with you, you won't be able to make it.
Yep.
So a lot of these companies that are looking into space are trying to find that sweet spot where they can give people the experience. They can bring the right amount of resources plus extra for emergencies, but they're not bringing so much that it's not a financially viable business idea.
Yeah. So the business comes into play.
Yes,
a lot
very
as
much.
well, which makes sense.
Yeah.